Captives is directed and written by Gary P. Cohen, released in 1988. Sorry Bill Murray did not get the script sent to him. He probably would have thought it was written by the Coen brothers. Paper Grill never comes back into the film. I bet that Scar Taylor wishes it was in the movie Cyclone. Okay, that joke was too dark. Well, at least I know one other person has seen this movie. Zach Hadel. Seriously, that mobile looked like the kids from Smiling Friends. I'm not accusing anybody here, but that father has bad cloth etiquette. She cuts bread. That's violent. Well, I guess we're gonna get more violent stuff in this film. Thank you. We have the opening credits again. She drinks coffee. Notice how these people live in a house. They don't need to raid anybody and tie them up. This is a very riveting scene. Now I'm gonna do a joke that goes just as long as this scene. That's what this movie is like. Her 3-year-old child that still lives with her, his mom, they use him for gross outcomes. This man treats a woman like capturing a possum in a cage. This 30-year-old man child uses a hair dryer. I don't use a hair dryer. The person that they use for gross out comedy has a more detailed morning routine than me. I feel very sad now. This cat scene probably took a long time to film. People say cats do whatever the hell they want, so they're very hard to direct. So that scene is completely pointless and unneeded, and it probably took way too much effort. She just saw him sneak into the garage. You see, she is pulling out right as he's sneaking into the garage. Call the freaking police. Why would this woman have a picture of them kissing in her house? Is this just the director's house? I mean, I know that guy's played by director, and that woman's probably his wife. Take down that picture if you're going to establish that this is a different house than where these people live. This director is abusing his actress on camera. Well, I guess this director really liked Jesus Franco because Jesus Franco did the same thing in Vampire Lesbos. How can a director who has so many paintings in his house make something so boring? I mean, he must be inspired by art or something. I don't want to see an X-rated version of Thumb Wars. This director owns the 8-hour version of Bohemian Rhapsody. It takes 5 minutes for them to put in a VHS tape. So they hold them hostage so they can show them their old VHS tapes of them in the 70s when they were drug addicts. My history teacher held a hammer up to my face while he was showing me Woodstock tapes. Their house is burning down, and their baby is in it. Well, I guess they had a baby afterwards. I will explain the 17-year-old son. Now I feel bad for making fun of the son for being a homebody. He's just 17, not 30. I thought he was 30. And the baby was already basically burned because you shouldn't take drugs while you're pregnant. Why is the son wearing a How to Make a Movie for Dummies shirt when the director obviously didn't read that book? This man shouldn't work at office of any type. We're opposed to late to the 17-year-old homebody because he's good and takes care of the child while these people are tying the child's parents up. They slash a woman. That is the most gory scene in the film, and honestly, it was kind of terrifying and surprising only because the rest of the movie is so boring. Oh, great, they're covering the child's face. Disney is going to sue this movie's ass. They tie up the grandma, and this is probably a good point to point out that Tubi actually has the rare original version of this movie, instead of the one that's named Mama's Home. The Mama's Home version has much louder music. This time you can actually hear what the characters are saying. I guess that's a plus. I learned that from the video archivist, by the way. Put a link to his video in the description. No, no, no. This director thinks he has just as much experience in this genre as Nick Phillips. We learned that he works at McDonald's. I just hope that the 15-year-old lady who cooks burgers right next to him isn't next to him, because then he would get lectured a lot. Just because you drink like Robert Altman doesn't mean you can direct like Robert Altman. They put makeup on old lady. This movie fails at showing me the sexiest behind the scene footage. Okay, the acting here is kind of good, and this 5 minutes is really disturbing, so I give the movie credit there. They kill some blonde that they did not establish earlier in the film. This is the most tasteless Jack in the Box commercial I've ever seen. Good thing the restaurant is finally having honest advertising. Just because you have a picture of the Ollie from Titanic does not mean you can win an Academy Award. P.S. Your cat is dead. Instead of making a dummy of a cat and putting a knife through it on screen, you just tell us that the cat is dead. You couldn't buy a stuffed animal of a cat. Just like Donald Farmer, this movie has a through the cloth version of Spit on Your Grave. By the way, he's next. I'm not covering Savage Vincent's. By next, I mean in like a month or so, maybe 2 months. I need to watch some sci-fi canon films to cleanse my palate. Drowns a man in the bathtub. This movie just made a 3 minute version of Spit on Your Grave, and it wasn't sexually intimidating like it was in that film. Good to see they put Gene Siskel's reaction in the film. Put the baby in another room while you're filming these scenes. I don't want this baby to grow up to have a bad adult life. Put it in another room. This movie's really mature. We get a movie, women don't have their period when they get pregnant. So she calls the police after she kills the people that were tying her and her grandma up. That would not work. You would be the one going to jail. And judging by that there's a picture of them kissing in your house, then you couldn't even use the I was defending myself defense. They would still arrest you. They are the victims. What they would look like, well, the people who were tying up would look like the victims. I'm not saying they are the victims, but they would look like the victims because they're the ones that are dead. So that's Captives. This is obviously a terrible movie that was just way horrible to sit through, and it was really boring. I get that they're trying to create a culturophobic feel, like you're supposed to feel like the characters when they're being captured in this house, but it's still really boring, and there's a lot of stuff that does not make logical sense, and the characters that are likable do still kill people. I mean, that 17-year-old who is the most likable character in a film does end up killing somebody, so he's no longer likable. This is a terrible, tasteless film that I actually saw some people saying, I wish I could see the original version. Well, this is the original version, and it's still not good. I guess it has a claustrophobic and disturbing vibe at points, but that is like the bare minimum of a compliment. You can do that very easily, and there's ways to make it more entertaining, like have stuff that makes sense in the film and actually establish all the characters that you were killing off. This movie forgot to establish two of the characters that die. Please watch the video of Carvis' review of the movie cover and books. It'll be linked in the description. I do not recommend this movie, but